Hello and welcome to another YouTube Live. Today we have got a very special guest. It's Amartya Sarkar, a guy who was one of our first guests on the Indie Football podcast. Today, that time when we had not even done 10 episodes, today we have done over 50 episodes, and it's people like Amartya who have inspired us, who have really laid that foundation for us to be able to do what we are doing today. Welcome, Amartya bhai. It's been a long while. How is the Liverpool fandom going?
It's been good, exciting times actually as a Liverpool fan, to be honest, because as much as I had this, we had this down of not being in the Champions League, not winning something because we are now very much used to winning stuff. But at this point of time, with all the transfers coming in, and there's a shift in the paradigm of how Liverpool will be lining up next season. So overall, yeah, it's been exciting. Transfer market has always hyped me, especially this season because we've had a nice set of incomings.
I've seen you have been very active on Twitter as usual, especially over Liverpool transfer news. A lot of news has come in today with Henderson and Fabinho and even Thiago. What do you feel like? Are these outgoings going to happen?
See, realistically speaking, if I have to speak from a fan's point of view, uh, I think Henderson's move is almost done and dusted. He's definitely leaving. What I have seen, I've seen tweets of Fabrizio Romano. I've seen posts of Fabrizio Romano. Some of the very reliable journalists also here and there around. I think Barcelona want Thiago, and
Mhm.
it is again. Then Thiago has openly come out. His agent has come out and said that Thiago's priority is Liverpool. And for Fabinho's case, I said that you know I think it is Al Ittihad, I think, who are interested in him. So they are saying like they are offering almost like 40 million. And at this point of time and in this market and what we have for Fabinho right now, 40 million is a lot of money. I don't think that we'll have
Right, right.
another offer like this, a lucrative offer like this. So I think it's time to cash in, and we still have time in the transfer market. We have a few players lined up also, which we think that could come up and just elevate the level. They have had a significant role to play in the history of Liverpool as of now. They'll be remembered as uh, you know Liverpool greats. Anyone who has been in a part of the campaign in 2019, especially when we won the 2018-19 when we won
Mhm.
the Champions League. I think everyone is a designated legend for me. But everything comes to an end. Every good part comes to an end, and the time has come that we let go of these players. We have to, you know, rebuild again and restart afresh. We have two players who are absolutely different in terms of the paradigm in which Liverpool used to play. They're not serial pressers like we used to have in the midfield. But now I think Thiago most probably he will be there because let's just be honest, out of all the midfielders that we have, his technique is sublime. He's a champion. The only thing that bothers us is the injury. But then again, as a mentor, also he can guide us a lot.
Right, right, right.
I think
Uh,
Thiago will, but Fabinho and Henderson, I think their time has come.
Absolutely. I think considering Henderson might be sold for like somewhere around 20 million pounds, if that is possible. And the reported 40 million pound bid for Fabinho, I think a 55, 60 million pound deal for both of them would really be a step in the right direction. I mean, no doubt, they have been great servants of the club. They have served well. I know there's a lot of clamor on Twitter, on in social media overall about that everyone's happy to let them go and all, but what I feel is that they have been very important and integral in Liverpool winning whatever they have over the past few seasons. There are no two ways about that. Of course, I won't say that Henderson can be compared to Steven Gerrard because Steven Gerrard was like a once in a millennium player. But of course, like those comparisons are unfair because I think there have been many times when Henderson has really stepped up to the plate when the others were not around. And I mean, I do understand at this point of time, at the age of 33, this is the last big bumper contract that they are gonna get. And from a family point of view, also it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I know Henderson might be criticized for since he has been advocating the LGBTQ plus rights, but the fact remains that with the amount of money he's being offered, with the amount of money Fabinho is being offered, especially when they are reaching in which at a time when they're past their peak and reaching the twilight of their careers, it makes sense. And from a Liverpool's point of view, also commercially, it does make a lot of sense because the money could be spent on much better signings. I mean, players like Caicedo, Lavia, Thuram are in the Manu Kone are in the market. I think it is a good opportunity for Liverpool, especially with the budget constraints that we have had under FSD. No matter how much we complain, at this point of time, we cannot do anything. Like we cannot just change our owners in an instant. So we have to work within those parameters, and I feel that you do make sense. Like maybe like Henderson and Fabinho do seem likely to go. I think losing Thiago also would definitely be something of a problem because you cannot lose all your experience in the same window. So what players, Amartya bhai, would you like to see coming in at Liverpool? Let's talk about the exciting part.
See, like when the transfer window started and when we had these lining of players that I saw a few players lined up, like these are the players lined up in the pipeline for Liverpool, and I saw like there was Kefren Thuram, there was Manu Kone also, and then Romeo Lavia. Uh, I was instinctively very attracted towards Kefren Thuram, but when we saw that we overnight we got just linked to Shobosalai, and then we went ahead and got him. So like Zobozola is the kind of player that like he is, and I just saw that training video that they have released Liverpool Inside Training and the YouTube, and he just nailed up the test, and he didn't even break a sweat, anything like that. He was so fit and he was so agile. He adopted so well. So hopefully there are training pictures coming up as well. He's been talking to Klopp and he's been discussing how he can improve. So that is one player I thought, yeah, okay, we've got it. So 2 out of 3, that is good enough. But then, like, if you ask me right now, amongst Romeo Lavia, Manu Kone, and Kefren Thuram, I think my first priority would be getting Kefren Thuram because I was reading something from Lilian Thuram, actually Kefren's father, and he was talking about the atmosphere at Anfield. He was like telling that in 2005 when Juventus came here to play, and in other seasons also, he was with Juventus during that time, and the atmosphere he said that I have never seen atmosphere like that in stadiums, especially in England. So if he also said that if I would have got a chance, I would definitely like to play for in Anfield and for the same side. So I think Kefren Thuram would be a great addition. He's a very good ball carrier and he's young. He's played well with he is also in the team of the tournament for this Liga Uber Eats. So these are the things. I think Kefren Thuram first. I think the player would cost a little bit less as well, and then we'll move forward to Romeo Lavia if the budget permits. Because I want more of a profile where we can go box to box. Because let's just think of it like that. Alexis McAllister is more of a left-sided center midfielder who can play as a DLP. He's a deep line playmaker. Jobozalai also is more of an attacking midfielder, central attacking midfielder, CAM as they like to call it. And then he
Mhm.
likes to drift on the wide angles as well and then take shots. But then again, none of them are more box to box, who can go up there, carry the ball forward and then play that final pass. We need someone who can do that. Previously used to have Stevie. After that, we haven't really had box to box midfielders of that
Right.
sort of caliber. Kefren Turam definitely has that. And after that, I think like for like replacement, if I say, then Romeo Lavia obviously is. A lot of people out there are saying that Romeo Lavia is just 19. He doesn't have that experience, just one season with Southampton.
Do you think he's
But then
ready?
again, at this point of time, we are at no position where we could say that whether someone is ready or not. We have to take the punt. We have nothing to lose. We
Mhm.
are in a second grade competition in Europe. See, no one knows whether we will be up there with Arsenal and City. So we have to take that point. If it goes well, then it is fine. It is a win. But if it doesn't click, then it's okay. It's fine. It's a 19-year-old kid who will develop definitely. Under Klopp, all these players have done, and even Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is doing well. So we will definitely have a lot of options. Especially, we'll reduce the age gap that is there in the Liverpool midfield.
Fair enough. How much do you think there's a need for a left-sided centre back, considering Liverpool have at a lot of times last season, especially at the back end, played three at the back?
It is imperative to have a left-hand sided CB if you are playing three at the back, because I have followed football for some time, and like as previously in the previous episodes where I came in for the Indie Football podcast, we talked about Italy, and one of the bestest left-hand sided centre backs that I have seen play for Italy is probably Giorgio Chiellini. So I know
Hmm.
how imperative it is when you're playing three at the back, and we had a few lined up. Mickey Van de Ven, I have not seen much of him, but I have heard that he's very, very quick. His recovery is great. But I have seen a lot of Levy Colville. There's a lot of buzz about Levy Colville over Twitter. Chelsea fans are pretty pissed, that Liverpool fans are going ahead and assuming and spreading things like Levy Colville has grown up as a Liverpool fan despite playing for Chelsea all this time. But I have seen Levy Colville, and he's a Rolls Royce in the making, man. I'm absolutely sure. Like, I was very gutted when he conceded that penalty in the last minute, but God forbid they didn't concede England in the finals of the under 21 Euros. But he was phenomenal for me. He's a champion player. He'll bring so much to the side, and once he reaches that, he'll burst through the threshold of age. When he blooms, he's going to be a top player. You know, probably
Fair
top
enough.
three center backs in the country, maybe in the continent also.
Is the Do you think, like, just for the sake of asking, do you think that the Fabinho and Henderson funds could be used in the Mbappe funds since Real don't seem that they're gonna buy him?
uh See, like, Mbappe to Liverpool is not very realistic in my
True,
sense,
true,
because
true.
we've already got three players. By the way, I'm really, really very stoked. I was happy previously that we had Darwin Nunez, but this time I'm stoked because I have this intuition, I have this, conspiracy theory that once he gets the number 9 shirt, he'll outperform himself. Definitely, like,
He
I'm
got
looking
it
forward
today.
to it. Yeah, he got it today. So that I'm absolutely stoked for him. He looked so happy in the conference also. So we've got a very
Right,
stacked
right.
forward line as of now. A lot of players cannot, even Darwin Nunez, Cody Gakpo, they are also struggling to break into this side itself. Because if we consider the whole attack, we have Diogo Jota, we have Salah, we have Luis Diaz, we have Darwin Nunez,
Mhm.
and we have Mo Salah, obviously, and we have Luis Diaz also. So these, I think, cumulatively, they can definitely make up for what Mbappe offers. I think more than what Mbappe offers as an attacker, but as far as I have read in Twitter, we need a lot of money if we wanted to get a left-sided center back. And if we are targeting Levy Colville, and I have read a few reports from Dave O'Cobb, I think, and he said that almost 60 million we could, like, almost Chelsea would ask for almost 60 million. So if we want to put that 60 million into use, I think Levy Colville is the perfect investment.
Fair
The
enough.
the
Yeah, I feel
LCB
that.
part,
Even I feel that way.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like, since like there's a huge chance that Henderson might leave, as we talked about. So, like, who do you think
yes.
should be Liverpool's captain? Because considering, like, I personally, I would answer this question before you do, that I love Van Dijk, but I just feel that he's at that age where I don't think he can play more than a couple of seasons at his peak, or, like, at a very top level. So, who do you think should be Liverpool's next captain?
See, ideally, Liverpool follows the seniority thing, the seniority order that goes forward. So I believe that Van Dijk would be the next captain for Liverpool. But if I had to choose one for this team, I think I'd go in between um, Allison and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like, I have this justification for it also. Like, a lot of people would say that Trent is young to become the captain of Liverpool, because we have had captains who have taken the armband much later. But then again, when Hendo was 25, he took over the armband. When Stevie was 23, he took over the armband. Trent is currently 24. So that is the thing, and Allison, like, let's just say he's the player of the season from last season, right? We are in the Europa League because of him. So clearly, he is the leader at the back at this point of time. As much as I don't like saying it, but I think that performances also at this point of time, performances also
Hmm.
determine who should be wearing the armband. It's no more about, being the morally superior captain. You have to back yourself with your performance as well. And Virgil van Dijk's standards have dropped from last season. I just hope that he comes back to
True.
his best form. So I think, like, if I were given a choice, for a future perspective, I would say that it is Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if I'm looking at the current retrospective, viewpoint, I'd say Allison deserves it just on the basis of performance because he's been a
Fair enough.
absolute
I think I resonate with you
killer.
on that. Hmm. Before we wrap this up, so like if you had to predict realistically, which players will actually come in this transfer window, considering both Henderson and Fabinho leave, in terms of the signings, and how where do you see Liverpool finishing this season with those
Okay,
realistic
so
expectations?
I'll answer the second question first. I think Liverpool will be in the mix for the title. I really think that because I have seen players, I saw Mohamed Salah's tweet when we were officially confirmed as,
Right,
you know,
black
a
and white
team in
photo.
the Europa League. Yeah, so he was devastated. He wanted to be in the Champions League. Top players want to be in the Champions League. So he will be absolutely fired. He will be absolutely hungry. Darwin Nunez also, I think he has a point to prove. Cody Gakpo also has a point to prove. So these people, they will be fired also. And coming back to other points, we'll be definitely in the mix for the title. I think we'll probably finish in the top three. That is my prediction. And in terms of signings, I think we'll get Lavia because that is almost on the pipeline. Because once with this deal gets through, we'll get Lavia. And I think Liverpool should go for Levy Colville, all guns blazing. Whatever happens, for once, FSC just losing your purse, man.
Fair enough. I feel, although I felt that without any outgoings, we needed three midfielders, at the bare minimum. But I guess if players like Lavia and Thuram do come in along with Levy Colville, it would be a step in the right direction overall. So
See,
thank you, Amartya
Levy
bhai.
Colville, I
Right.
would like to say one thing regarding Levy Colville. We at this point of time we want to play an innovator for fullback position and focusing on that. Levy Colville, he won. If he comes in, we are sorted to play the three man at the back for about like
Hmm.
5-6 years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the thing. That is how I'd like to wrap up.
I understand. We are all excited by the prospect of Levi Colvin coming to Liverpool, just like in one of his Instagram lives. So thank you, Amartya Bhai, as always, for coming on the Indie Football podcast. It has been a while, but it goes to show that the bond we have with people like you, people who have like really made a difference, not only on our podcast, but also in our lives. And honestly, I would like to ask our viewers to, go and follow Amartya Bhai on Twitter. I myself do that, and a lot of the good things I see on Twitter is because of Amartya Bhai's views, and sometimes very strong views about things. But we all love him for that. And thank you, Amartya Bhai, for joining in. It's always a pleasure having you.
My pleasure. My
And
pleasure.
please like, share, comment on this, and subscribe to the Indie Football Podcast for more such content. We are, of course, more established on Instagram, but YouTube is something which we are looking to capture also. And it would be great if you could like share this video. Thank you so much, and hoping for a YouTube live with Amartya Bhai very soon. Thank you, and have a great day.